Hey there, welcome to the Vital Blend. My name is Anthony Vita. I'm glad you could join me for today's episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about our habits and how our habits define who we are. That's right, every habit that you have, it's like a vote being cast for who you are. And so that means that not every single habit or two that you have defines you. You know, if you have a couple of drinks tonight and you get loaded and you wake up tomorrow with a hangover and you wish you never did that, and it just doesn't happen very often at all, I wouldn't say, well, you know, you love to drink. As opposed to the guy that comes home every single night, gets loaded, and neglects things that he has to do, and maybe is abusive, has to go to the liquor store after work every Friday and pick up some more. This is somebody I would say they love drinking based on their habits that seem to be overwhelmingly in favor of that kind of an activity, right? Not something to aspire to, but let's change it to something that would be. You know, let's say it's somebody that takes really good care of their house. And maybe you are this person. Maybe you know someone like this. They are immaculate on the inside. Everything is where it should be. Everything is nice and perfectly clean. You could eat off the floor, you know, that kind of stuff. Even on the outside of the house, everything is, you know, painted perfectly, let's say. There's nothing falling off. The yard is perfect, no weeds. The bushes are trimmed, the lawn is mowed, everything just looks great. If you were to ask this person, well, why do you do this? You know, you would hear probably, well, I take pride in my home. You know, this is who I am. And if somebody came over and it wasn't looking good, it would reflect on them, right? And this isn't just something that everybody does. This is something that you have to be a certain type of person to be able to keep a home this kind of way. You have to have the habits for it. And not everybody can identify with that. There's some people that are like, man, I wish I could keep my house like that, or I could never keep my house that perfect, you know, because that's not who they are. They don't identify with the kinds of habits that you would need. I would expect some people to say that. Well, turning this into a health issue, let's say, maybe you aspire to be someone who's more health conscious. And you want to be more like this other person that got their weight under control, they reversed their diabetes, no longer taking meds, and you want this for yourself. You want to be that kind of person. So if you're expecting that you're going to reach that goal without changing your habits, it's never going to happen. You know, you need to do what it takes to achieve that, to become that kind of person, not just to reach it, but to maintain it. This is a lifestyle. So this isn't something that we just do to get someplace and then we go back to doing what we were before. This is a lifestyle change, okay? And so if you have this idea of yourself that you want to lose weight and you want to reverse this and normalize this, then you got to think about, okay, what are the habits that I'm going to need to have to be that person? Because the current habits that you have gotten you to where you are now. And they're not going to get you to be somebody else totally unless you change your habits. And that will change you into identifying as someone else. Let's say someone who is health conscious. You know, looking at your current habits now, would you say that you are a health conscious person? Certainly looking back to myself, going back 10 or so years or more, I was not a health conscious person at all. Just looking at my habits, I was going to Starbucks every single morning. I was going to vending machines, drive-through windows. I was in the habit of drinking Coca-Cola and just eating a bunch of garbage. And I didn't get any exercise. And now my habits have changed. I'm getting more exercise. I'm drinking water and I'm drinking cleaner things. I'm eating things that are good for me, that are better for me, that I never used to eat or even know how to prepare for myself before. You know, I don't start my day with a cup of coffee loaded with creamer and sugar. I'm drinking fresh water with lemon and cayenne pepper. And these habits serve me, have gotten me to where I am. If I were to go back to my old habits, I would look the way I used to. I would get sick the way that I used to. And so this is something that I want you to think about. I want you to make a list of all the habits that you have through any given day, and I want you to think about them. Don't think about them in terms of, oh, this is a good habit or this is a bad habit. I want you to think about it in terms of, you know, does this habit serve me? Does this habit get me to where I want to be, to the goals that I have? Don't be goal-oriented. I want you to be habit-oriented, because you could have the same goal as someone else, but unless you have the habits to get there, It's never going to happen. And changing your habits changes you. It changes your identity. And so I'd like to know, are you currently struggling with habits that you know that you need to change? What are they? If you've already changed your health, what habits did you have to change, and are you glad that you actually changed? Drop them down below. And this is the kind of stuff that I work with people with when I do coaching. We go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, we celebrate wins, we talk about food, but we also talk about habits and what things can we change so that you can be the person that you want to be, the healthiest version of yourself. And so if you want to work with me, check out my contact information below. I'd love to talk to you and help you get there to your goals with the right habits, okay? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, and be sure to love yourself, all right? This is where it all starts. If you love yourself, you want this for yourself, and you want to be the best version of yourself that you can be. I want you to eat more plants, and I'll see you soon.